All right, we are broadcasting. Cool. So,
Cool.
hi world. I'd like to introduce to you Leah Kim. She is a yogini who is practicing yoga and in charge of Nike's global yoga program. I'm interviewing her today, and our interview will take three parts. The first part will be questions about her life and what she's done. The second part will be fun, this or that and why type questions. And then towards the end, we'll do advice and just life stories in general. So Leah, one of the things I find amazing about you is how you transitioned from doing the standard econ degree, going into wealth management, to one day deciding to just walk away from your job and pursuing yoga as a full-time thing. Can you tell us about how you did that and just share your story with everyone?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as you said, I studied econ at school. I went to UCLA and sort of always thought that was raised basically to think that I would end up in the business world, whatever that means, and did the appropriate thing of trying to get a job at like a really big finance company and I just basically found myself going into work like uninspired, not energized or excited about it. And for a while, I kind of thought that maybe that's just what work was. You know, I thought um, you have to do it, so maybe you're just never going to like love it. And um, I especially had this moment where I was like sitting at my desk and on the phone helping some very wealthy person work through some like some admin stuff on his investment
Mm-hmm.
account.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember thinking that my time could be so better spent helping someone that actually needed my help, that could actually benefit in some way from it. And um, I, I just I just knew that there must be something else, some better way to spend my time and energy. And so I left that big company and went to a smaller boutique investor relations firm where I just had more day-to-day contact with people and as opposed to spreadsheets. And I thought maybe that that would be the way forward, but it was still the same thing. Um, for me, it was just the industry wasn't right, and I didn't have that much love or passion for really for other people's money, to be frank. Like, I just didn't want to spend my time doing that. And yeah, the realization was so strong in me that one Friday morning, I just decided that I was done with it. And um, I didn't give 2 weeks notice. I walked into work and was like, look up, this is just over. And it was really exhilarating, but also really terrifying because I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. I had saved money for about 6 months to cover rent and expenses and stuff like that. And so I knew financially I'd be okay for those 6 months. Um, yeah, I didn't know what to do. And because I had so much time on my hands, I just started going to the yoga studio more frequently. I had already been going, had already found teachers that I really loved, and I just started spending more time there, whether it was to take one or sometimes more classes a day, or I started volunteering and sweeping the floors there and like restocking the bathrooms and things like that. I just wanted to spend my time there in this place that people walked in to, just let go of their stresses and to get to know themselves better and to just create more love and more peace. And I just thought, like, wouldn't it be amazing if this was my work, if this is what I could do every day? And that's just how it all started.
Yeah, yeah, wow. So today, what is your day-to-day life like? Could you give us a typical day or typical month kind of story?
Yeah, yeah. Typical month is probably more interesting to talk about.
Yeah,
Well, initially when I started teaching, I was in LA, and that was God, 8 years ago, maybe
eight
something
years
like
ago.
that.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm like, wait, I just aged. I just dated myself. That's okay. And at the time, I was driving all around town, LA, Santa Monica, probably teaching up to 25 classes a week and just trying to get as much experience as I could. And when I moved to Hong Kong, I did the same thing. I was teaching tons of classes a week, and it's not like another job. It's not like a desk job where you can teach classes back to back for like 8 or 10 hours. It just,
Right.
you don't do that. So I came to a point where it it was just it was something that comes from my heart, and I need to not be in a place where I'm sort of churning out classes like a machine. So where I am now, I'm very fortunate where I do, like you mentioned, I do a lot of work with Nike, and we do big projects a few times a year. And that has me working here in Europe or back in the US. And previously when I was in Hong Kong, I did a lot of work in Asia as well. So yeah, every few months I'll do a project with them, whether it's filming a commercial or an iPhone app or leading a teacher training. And then locally, when I'm here, I mostly teach privates and at companies, so I guess you call them corporates. And I'm also getting involved with some high-end gyms and yoga studios. So yeah, my like ideal sort of day is to probably teach to a couple, either clients or a class, and to really have a lot of downtime to do my own practice, my own meditation, and things like that. So I feel very, very lucky right now with the way my schedule is.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely seems like you went from living the life to like really living the life.
Yeah, that's a really nice way of putting it. Yeah, I think balance in life is super important, and like it kind of kills me when I see people and all they do is work. You know, they get up and they go to work and they come home and they can barely keep their eyes open as they eat dinner, and then they go to sleep and they go to work again. And I mean, if it's something that you really love and it's inspiring and it energizes you, that's great, that's beautiful. But if you're dragging your feet through it, then
Why?
I think a big point of life is missing. And hopefully most people only spend a small amount of their life living that way, and eventually get to the point of saying like, look, there's so much more to it. Like, wow, being able to have the time and energy to, spend with my loved ones, or to, take a walk outside and to enjoy that, or things like that. Like that's the stuff that's really going to enrich your life and make what you do, your work, also more interesting. You know what I mean? When you have all the other stuff to balance it out, like it's really important.
Cool, cool. So speaking of balance, do you have a favorite yoga pose, or maybe, a favorite? Could you describe it to me?
Yeah. Well, my all-time favorite yoga pose is always child's pose. Which I don't. Are you familiar? Are you familiar?
My boyfriend does yoga, so he talks to me about it, but I haven't done it myself.
Yeah. So if you ask him about child's pose, he'll tell you it's not fancy, it's not challenging. You literally, you're lying on the floor, kind of in a bowing position. You know, like in like Asian cultures, the bowing that you might do, like especially in Buddhism, things like that. And it's just really nourishing and relaxing, and your face is literally on the earth. So there's a very grounding and quieting aspect to it. So that's actually my all-time favorite pose, which it's it's not anything that you look at and you be wowed by, but you're wowed by it when you're in it, because it just feels amazing.
That's awesome. I actually saw a video of you doing, I don't know if you remember it, but it's for like Nike, and I don't know what it's called, but you were in downward dog, and then you lifted your left leg and your right arm and you touched it, and I was like, oh my God. You just managed to do it so gracefully, and I just thought, wow. It just flowed. There was like a sense of flow to it, and it just looked really cool.
Oh yeah, thanks for checking that out. Yeah, that's that's definitely on the opposite end of the spectrum from child's pose.
Like the intense yoga.
Yeah, but I love it too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I absolutely love being challenged and physically challenged. It's a big part of what we do as yogis. And you hit the nail on the head when you said that it's the calm and the flow and the grace that goes into what you're doing that may be quite challenging. That's where the artfulness of yoga comes in, and that's where you make the mind-body connection of doing something that could sometimes look acrobatic, like it looks like maybe even showy, um, but then getting much deeper than that, getting beyond what you see externally, because the experience that I'm having when I'm doing something like that is full presence in the moment. You're not going to be able to do that kind of movement if you're stressed out about something
Right.
else, or if you're distracted by something else. You won't have the balance, because you're not whole in yourself, right? You're scattered. Your energy is scattered. If I'm here with you right now, but part of my mind is fixated on what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, then I'm not going to be able to have a full conversation with you. I'm not fully present with you. And it's the same thing in your own body when you're on your mat and you're asked to do something physically challenging. And that's where those kinds of postures become really interesting. Is a lot of times you think like, wow, I can't, and I know I thought this, I thought I can't do something like that. Too hard. I was never an athlete. I was never a dancer. I don't have that kind of background. So when I first walked onto the yoga mat, a total novice. I'm actually really uncoordinated. And I came in with all these ideas of, I can't do that, it's too hard. But then once you switch your sort of mental state, and you're like, right, it's not that difficult, and the teacher is teaching me to just breathe and to just focus my eyes on one point and to just focus my energy in what I'm doing. You really surprise yourself, and it's fun. I mean, it's just fun, and it's the effects that kind of ripple into other aspects of your life, like to make you think, wow, I don't have to follow this obvious life path. I don't have to do a job that doesn't really stir my soul. You just start to realize like that anything is possible, and that you can create that, and it's amazing.
Nice. Nice. Cool. I have some interesting questions lined up about you. The first in this list is, what animal do you feel best represents yourself?
Oh, funny. My housemates and I have been recently all trying to give ourselves animals. So,
Yeah.
like this is going to sound really just cliche, but I can only think of I think of a dog, and that's because I think of the dogs that my pets, the dogs that I have had through my life,
Oh.
and I just feel really, really connected to them, and I feel that like I have a dog that actually is still in California that my loved ones watch, and she is, and a lot of my friends say this, but she's sort of like me, and I'm sort of like her, and in the way we pay attention to people, and the way we want to be close to people, and the way um, even I can go almost a year without seeing her, and she never forgets me. And I think that that's really kind of symbolic for just the life I've chosen to lead, and leaving home, going to Hong Kong initially, where I knew nobody. My heritage is Korean, so not Chinese. People, when they first heard that I moved to Hong Kong, they're like, "Oh, right, you must have family here." Like, no,
You're like,
no
no.
ties. But I love doing that. I love putting myself in those kinds of situations, and um, it's an amazing lesson realization, because the people that love you and that you love are always close to you, even though you might be half the world away. And no relationship represents that better than my dog, my dog and me. And yeah, because she never forgets me, and it's kind of amazing. And she's fiercely loyal, and that's how I am to the people that I care about, and to
Nice.
yeah, to what's important to me.
Nice. Nice. Cool. All right. Awesome. The next question is, who's your favorite fictional character?
Fictional character.
Can be completely wild and like out there. And you can
Okay,
be like,
well,
yeah.
okay, I have to say two parts to this.
Yes.
My immediate answer that pops up is the real answer, and I'll give it to you in a second. But it's interesting because there's this sort of self-editing mechanism that comes in, and I'm
Yeah.
like, right, well, I'm an English minor. I need to pick someone like from amazing literature, like what does Charlotte Bronte write about? That's what I want to think. But no, to
Right.
be honest, to be perfectly honest, um, I love Winnie the Pooh. And
Really?
yeah, and I know that sounds like that probably, yeah, it's not like the most intelligent sounding answer, but he's hands down my favorite character, has been since I was in a high chair and had a Winnie the Pooh high chair. And in a funny way, I've come full circle because I don't know if you know, but Winnie the Pooh he's English. His whole cast of characters is created by somebody from England who happens to be from the small town that my boyfriend's family is from. And the 100-acre wood, which is where Winnie the Pooh lives, my boyfriend's parents basically live in it.
Wow.
So it's just been very, very interesting to come full circle in that way. And there's books now, and I know it seems kind of funny. He's this like cartoon bear, but I don't know if you've ever heard of the Tao of Pooh.
I've seen it. I
Yeah.
haven't read it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's drawing the parallels between Taoism, and Winnie the Pooh's kind of principles of living, and there's a real depth to it, and how he's really just about love and positive energy, and he's just hopelessly optimistic and simple, but there's like a richness and a beauty in his simplicity, and
Got it.
yeah, so I find him really
That's
inspiring.
awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the this and that and why?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay. So, easy one. Art class or music class?
um, I laugh because I feel like such a not natural at both. Music class. I actually studied piano for 14 years, and
Wow.
yeah, it's not a fact that I advertise much, but yeah, played competitively for a while, but lost a lot of it when I went to college, and it was one of those things that my mom forced me to do,
Right.
like the piano,
Yeah.
and so I had a lot of negative feeling attached to it. So when I got to college and had no piano in the dorms, I was
You're
really
like,
psyched. Yes, I was like, freedom! But now in hindsight, when I think about all those years that I practiced, I want to get that back. But I know with practice I could get it back. So yeah, music.
Nice. Okay. Tattoo or piercing?
Piercing.
Because you
I
already
have,
have your ears pierced?
yeah, I have my ears pierced. I didn't do that until I was like 20 though, and I have no tattoos, and yeah, I prefer that piercings are less permanent.
Interesting.
Although I guess today, like with laser removal, tattoos aren't permanent either. But
Right.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Greece or Thailand?
Thailand. Although I would love to go to Greece, but I've never been to Greece, whereas I've been to Thailand a few times. But it's an amazing, amazing place. Have you ever been to Thailand?
No, I
No.
haven't.
It's easily one of my favorite places in the world and definitely in Asia. I'm actually going there in about a month.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Is it
yeah. So
vacation or?
yeah, actually the last time I was there, it was to teach. I taught at the Asia Fitness Convention in Bangkok. But I'll be going back in May just to hang out and to like spend some time on the beach and stuff like that. And Thai people are amazing. Thai food is amazing, and
Yes.
there's this there's this statue called the Reclining Buddha that's in one of the temples in Bangkok, and he's
Yes.
my favorite Buddha in the entire world that I've ever seen. So I
Uh,
like to go back and visit as frequently as I can. It's amazing.
is that the one where he's laying down on his side?
Yes, he's reclining on his
Okay.
side.
Got it.
He's
Got
he's
it.
totally chilled out, and he has this look of serenity and peacefulness on his face, and he's not doing anything forced, and it looks so natural. We all like reclining and chilling out, and and he's enormous, just like huge, huge, huge. His foot is something like, I don't know, like 12 feet, like the bottom of a shoe.
Wow.
It's just huge
Wow.
and beautiful, and yeah, I love that.
Now
I
that you
love.
said his foot is 12 feet, I'm like, okay.
No, it is. You're
That's
just.
crazy. Yeah.
So my friend who I was with when I first went to see the statue, took a photo of me, and I look like I'm 5 years old because I'm just in absolute awe of how just this amazing thing. And they built the temple basically to house him. And so you from the outside, you're like, right, I'm going into a temple. That's really cool. But you go in and you realize that he is the temple. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's incredible. So yeah, Thailand. Although
Cool.
that's a difficult choice that you gave me.
Cool. Cool. All right. The next one is coffee or tea.
Mm. Also a good one. Tea.
Tea.
A year and a half ago, it would have been definitely coffee. But I actually gave up coffee about a year ago when I first started doing my detox. I do detoxes like every maybe once or twice a year or something like that, and it really teaches you your addictions.
Yes.
It really teaches you what you're addicted to, and I realized that I was quite addicted to coffee, and I didn't, and I thought it was okay. I kind of knew that because I don't really drink much alcohol. I definitely don't smoke, or I mean, I barely even eat junk food, things like that. So I gave myself this, like, I'm allowed to have coffee as my vice.
Yes.
But I realized that I was really attached to it, and I don't want to be attached to anything, especially not a food or a beverage item.
Right.
So I let the coffee go, and I let myself have it now, like maybe once or twice a week.
Wow.
And I think that's fine, but tea's a must here, especially when it's freezing, like it has been.
Got it.
This is why British people love tea, is because it warms you from the inside, and yeah, so I'm always drinking tea here.
Nice. Do you have a favorite type of tea, like Earl Grey or?
Yeah, Earl Grey. Yeah, Earl Grey is really nice. There's a kind of a running joke in my house because they drink a tea called Yorkshire tea,
Okay.
and it's not at all fancy or posh or special.
Right.
They say it's just kind of like an everyman's tea, but when I got here, I really liked it. So yeah, Yorkshire tea is great, or peppermint tea, really easy, but peppermint tea is like you can have anytime, herbal, no caffeine, so really soothing and nourishing. So I love that.
Cool. I gotta try that Yorkshire tea. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I had never heard of it till I got here, but there's a lot of British products in California, so I'm sure you can find it. It's good with like a little dash of milk, and that's how they drink it here. So
nice.
It's lovely.
Cool. Okay. This one's gonna be like choosing between two really bad things, but
okay.
Rap or death metal? Kind of like which one is like
Oh,
easier to tolerate?
oh my gosh. Like gangster rap?
Yeah, like real like ghetto
That's
like
so
gritty
funny.
rap.
You're so cute with your questions. I I guess rap. I don't actually know what constitutes as death metal. Um, but my brother's a musician, and he can what do you call that? Oh, he's gonna see this and laugh at me for being so lame. Um, he like, when you just freestyle and you
Yes.
just do that kind of stuff, and he's amazing at that.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's where, rap comes from, that same background, and there's a lyricism to it, and there's even poetry to it oftentimes. So, yeah, maybe
Cool.
hardcore rap also has that element.
Nice. Cool, cool. All right. Well, the last one for this and that is cruise or hot air balloon.
Mm. Oh God, I want to do both. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, wow, that's like a really tough one to choose. I guess hot air balloon, because I've never ever done it before. The closest I've done is parasailing.
Yeah. Oh,
When
I've
they,
done that once. Yes.
yeah, when they take you up there, and I remember it being just really, really peaceful and
Yes.
um, not scary at all. Even though I actually don't like I don't like to, I would never jump out of a plane, I don't think. But
Right.
being up there, it's smooth sailing and amazingly peaceful. So yeah, hot air balloon sounds amazing.
Cool. I know when I first saw parasailing, I was like, oh, I want to do that. It looks so intense. And then I got up there and it's
Right?
like
It's,
quiet, you know,
yeah,
it's
it's
so
quiet.
quiet. So I'm
Totally
just
not what
like,
you think.
wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
it
get
was
to like
great.
have this huge aerial view
Yes.
of the world, and it's like you get to see it in this way that you can't normally see it, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
With
amazing.
the bird. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, so in the last part, I just wanted to ask questions about your, passing on of wisdom. And the first one is, if you're, this is sort of an indirect one, but if your 15-year-old self could get a glimpse of you in the future, what would
Mm.
you let her glimpse
Mm. Yeah. God, just I would just want my 15-year-old self to see just what I do on a daily basis and how blessed life is, and I guess really just to see inside my head is probably more important than
on?
what I might actually be doing, but to see out of my current perspective.
Perspective.
And thank goodness your perspective as you get older is always getting better. I think that's how it is. I mean, I guess like you have to choose for it to be that way, but it's definitely, I think that's the natural way the mind and soul want to evolve. So if you just let it be that way, it will. And that's why they say like you get wiser with age and all that. I do believe it's true. But yeah, if my 15-year-old self could just see out of my perspective, she'd be like much more chilled out than I actually was at 15. Yeah, just like, hey, everything's going to be okay and everything works out in a way that actually is more amazing than like you could think of in your own little mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, like dream bigger than you think is even possible, because the stuff that happens will be bigger than you could have concocted in your own mind. Um, and I say that like even just standing up and teaching a yoga class to me, like before I ever did it felt like an impossibility. Like,
Right.
just because
Yeah.
I respected my teacher so much, and it was something that I loved so much and wanted so much that right on the brink of doing it, I thought, I can't do it. Like, I won't be good, or it just, what all the self doubt things that come in. But no, like I do it all the time now, and I get to do it in these amazing avenues, and um, it's just, gosh, the things that happen are just unbelievable sometimes. So yeah, it's
Cool.
all good.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so
This was
welcome.
great talking to you again.
Yeah, it's really special. Cool.
Good. Good. Great. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great Friday.
Thank
Um,
you.
or is it Saturday? It's Friday there, right?
No,
No, it's
Friday morning.
Saturday.
Yep.
Oh, it is Friday. Okay.
No,
Okay.
yeah, Friday morning. Yeah, so it's bedtime for you now.
Bedtime for me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Leah.
much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Stay in touch. Bye.
Bye.